So, welcome back to another video. This is Glenn, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the coins of Macau. So for this comparison, I have included the Hong Kong dollar because the Macau Pataka, which is Pataka, so you can see Patakas there, plural Patakas, singular Pataka. Same as with the dollar, plural is dollars, singular is dollar, but in Chinese there is no plural or singular, it's just man. See, it has man up there. So the reason why I've included the Hong Kong dollar is that it's tied, or the Pataka is actually tied to the Hong Kong dollar at 103 Pataka to 1 Hong Kong dollar. So pretty much the Hong Kong dollar does circulate in Macau. And every time I've been to Macau and we've used Hong Kong dollars, because my family that comes from Hong Kong, they always give change in the Hong Kong dollars. And if you go to casinos, you'll realize that they only use Hong Kong dollars. I've asked for some Pataka in change, or a few banknotes or coins, but they don't actually have them. So don't go to the casino if you actually want their currency. And another thing you can see is that the actual shape of the currency is different. So the 10, 50 and 20 and 50 others coins are different. The 10 is smaller, so it's a 50. And the 20 is actually a different shape. The 1 Pataka is actually bigger and weighs more than the 1 Hong Kong dollar. The 2 Pataka and $2 are different shape. Same with the 5 Pataka and $5. And the 10 Pataka is actually a larger coin. Also, the metal composition is not the same as Hong Kong. It's also not as thick. So, from here on, we'll just have a look at the Macanese coins. And yes, that's how you say it, Macanese. So here we have the 3 others coins. So we have 10, 20 and 50 others. And on the Wikipedia, it just says that the 10 and 50 is actually used, and the 20 is not really that common. But if you've never seen the coins in circulation, it's pretty hard to actually gauge what coins are actually used. And also, if they're actually pretty shiny, they're actually very hard to actually film. But on the 10 others, we have a dragon head that they use in the dragon dance. And that's actually quite a nice dragon head. So you got the eyes there, and here's the actual tongue. And then we have the 20 others. This one is a dragon boat racing. So I've got the person who actually coordinates the rowers, and we have a head of a dragon and the denomination Leung Ho. Another thing is that this is not 20, it is 2. So whole is the actual denominations, equivalent to 1/10 of a Pataka. So it's like in China, 1 jiao equals 10 fen, and 1 yuan equals 10 jiao. Or in America, probably better equivalent, probably 2 dimes. And the 10 others will be equivalent to 1 dime. So that's 1/10 of a dollar. And here we actually have the dragon dance. So this is the actual dragon. And if we have a look, you can see people actually using the dragon. He's at the front leading the dragon around. And this coin is dated 1993. This is the only date that that coin was actually issued. The 20 others was issued 93 to 98, and the 10 others from 93 to 210. And they actually haven't been minted for 10 years. So just wonders if they actually circulate that well. And in the reverse, we have the denomination of 5 Pataka. You have Old Moon, and then we have Macau, and it looks doubled, but that's just the way it is. And we have the denomination, so Old Moon is in means Macau in Chinese, and here we have the Habat up the top. So as you can see, all these 4 denominations are all different sizes, but only 2 of them are actually round. So we have the Untitled and the Tupataka. These 2 were first issued in 1992. Then we have the next coin that was issued with a Tempataka in 1997. And in 1998, we have the Tupataka. And you can see this one's a little bit yellowish. That's because this one is a nickel brass. This one's copper nickel center, brass ring, and these 2 are copper nickel. And they all have different images of Macau monuments. So the Tempataka, as you can see here, has the Gaia Fortress. So we have a lighthouse that was built in around 1860s. And around 1820s we have this temple, church, should I say. And this one, they just have recently found a fresco with mixture of European and Chinese type of frescoes. And as you can see, it's got a wall around it. And here we have bushland. So this is actually on a peak. And around it is just the city. So it's in actually central part of northern Macau. And it's one of the main tourist attractions that you would actually go and see if you went to Macau. And as you can see, the rim is actually reeded. And this one is the latest coin that was issued 2010. And here we have the Tupataka. As you can see, it actually has a Chinese temple. So this is the actual entrance. And this church here, part of the temple, has European characteristics. And this is the Ama temple to the goddess Matsu. Matsu sounds a bit Japanese. And this temple was actually built in around about 1488. It's actually one of the oldest buildings in Macau. And just reading up on it, this is the actual Pihat Church. So a different building from the actual temple. So I do make mistakes. And as you can see, this is actually 8-sided. Very strange way to actually make a coin. And it's, as I said before, it's actually nickel brass, which means its brass is copper and zinc, and it has nickel. So this would have more zinc in it than to actually make it yellow. And that's what we are actually seeing here. And this is a 1-year type, so 1998 is the only year this was actually minted. And I don't really think it actually circulates that much in Macau. The $2 is probably a lot more common. On the Tempataka, we have the Cathedral of St. Paul. This is actually a ruin. All you're going to see is the actual front of the building. Most of the other parts of the building have been destroyed. And it was built in the 1700s. And it's on the UNESCO Heritage Site. And it's one of the major landmarks that you actually see in Macau, in the central part where you actually go shopping. And it's a major tourist attraction, that one. And here we have some junk boats. So I've never actually seen those. I actually saw one in Hong Kong when we went up to a peak, and it was just in a bay. One of these junk boats was just staying there. Don't know what it was doing. But I very rarely see these in Hong Kong, or I've never seen it in Macau either. And this one is not reeded, and the date is 2011 or 10. And have a look at that. Quite a nice, beautiful coin. So the highest denomination that actually is in Macau is the Tempataka, but they also use a banknote, so I presume, like in Hong Kong, the banknote is preferred. And it actually has the St. Dominic's Church, which is a 16th century building, a Baroque style church. And this is actually the front of it. Now, unlike the Tempataka, this church is actually still intact. And it's actually yellow. So most of this is yellow, and a lot of the borders, like separating the floors, is actually white. Also, this pattern here is also white. If you look at it on the internet, it actually looks like quite a beautiful building. And I've never actually seen it. And I've seen the buildings around it are also yellow. The more modern buildings that they have for people to live in. And it actually is quite a nice building. Even inside is yellow. So if you ever go to Macau, definitely worth a visit to go visit this place. And this coin is interrupted milling. So as you can see there. And there you go. I dropped it. And on this side we just have Macau as well. So 1997, that's a 1 year type as well. So if you have a close up of the other denominations. So there you go. That is the 20 avos and the 10 avos. Let's turn it around. So this one's a nice shiny coin. So it actually is very hard to actually show it on camera. You need to actually tone a bit, so it actually takes the dullness away. Eventually it will show, it will tone, and it will be a lot easier to actually see. My favourite coin would have to be the Tupataka. I just like the actual shape. Very odd shape that not many countries use. So anyway, this is the currency of Macau. 1 pataka equals 100 avos, and the actual coins are better designed than Hong Kong. And I reckon if you're interested in getting coins of smaller countries or territories, this is definitely one you need to get. And what would you be expecting to pay for these coins? Well, I was lucky enough, I picked these up for $10, and that's actually quite cheap, because the Tempataka, you're probably looking at $5 to $10 just to get one. Not many people sell them, and really, if you're going to want to get one for a good price, then you're going to have to be patient, look around and see what else you get. Also, Tupataka is not really as common as well. The other denominations are pretty easy to get. This one face value of $5, so you're probably talking about $3 or $4 for a coin like that. And all up, you're probably taking $10 to $20 for a full set. That's a good price, but most likely is that most of these sets that you're going to find are going to be more than $20, because not many people sell them, and those that do sell them would actually try and get a bang for their buck. Anyway, thank you very much for watching my video, and have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time. Thank you and goodbye.